ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. Get yours today at thebuttkicker.com and be sure to use our 20% discount promo code ISCA 20.
It is race night once again here on the iRacing Stock Car Association ButtKicker Cup Series. Hello and welcome one and all to North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, here for round number, I believe this will be 6 of the season 3 of 2021 here for the ISCA ButtKicker Cup Series. My name is Nolan Red Bull, and I've got, of course, Al Kozlowski, as always, behind me in the commentary box with our good friend Rob Melnick down behind the cameras for tonight's race. For the Cheerwine 200 at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Al, we come back, and it is back for half-mile short track, and in no better way to go racing, in my opinion, here with these stock cars. Of course, I've always said it before, when it comes to stock car racing, you can't get much purer than good old bumping it down and dirty, bumping and banging short track racing.
Knowing this tonight is going to be a show. We've got 200 laps. We're going to have 3 stages. The first stage is going to end at lap 35. The second one will end at 75. And then they'll run the remainder of the laps, which should be, my math is correct, what is that, 95 laps? We'll run that on stage 3 to end this race. The fuel tanks are only 75 to capacity, so we're going to see some pit stops. The problem with the pit stops on these short tracks is getting that car wound down enough to get it on pit road without getting a speeding penalty. So we've got 5 sets of tires the drivers can use tonight, and I believe that's 4 plus the one that they start with, so that total 5 race sets. And we should see some highlights of tonight's race is going to be the push-up and the loose. We're going to see these guys on the low line that may push up into a guy that's a lane up from them in the turns here, and they slide off. When they come off the turns, they could get that rear end a little bit loose, and if you get loose here, you're bound to cause chaos, because this track looks like it's about 4 lanes wide, but realistically, you can maybe go 3 wide, but you cannot do 4 wide, and I highly doubt anybody's going to be gutsy enough to try it tonight, but we will find out. I cannot wait.
200 laps, stages, of course, we do have them. North Wilkesboro is no different. Stage 1 ends on lap 35. Stage 2 ending on 75. When practice wraps up, we'll take a look at a bit of the track stats coming in today. 75 degrees currently in the air. A very warm 109 degrees Fahrenheit, though, down on track. Winds basically non-existent, blowing to the north about 2 miles an hour. Of course, 32 meters above sea level here. One of the interesting factors about this track, though, that really sets it apart from any other short track over here, Al, is, of course, the way the track is configured on a hillside. You're going downhill into turns 1 and 2, meaning you have to back up the corner more. You have to watch that back end starting to come around. And then, of course, you go back up the hill for turns 3 and 4. You can brake a lot later, but you're also carrying less speed going into the corner. So a dive bomb could be one of those things where it's more deliberate in 3 and 4 and more of an accidental thing in 1 and 2.
Yeah, no, it looks like tonight we've got a hefty field. We got about 33 cars probably out here. And I see you want to welcome back some drivers. We got Cecil Keith in that 33 machine. Welcome back, Cecil. We got... who else we got? Chuck Phillips is a new name I don't recognize, so welcome, Chuck. We got Josh Schaffner come back in the 50 car. Let's see who else we got that's came back to join us this week here. I got Jay. Let's see here. Thought I seen. Yes, I did. Jason Maines in the what is that? The 58 car. He's coming back to us here. Brian Britt. He was our announcer last week. Took my place in that 19 car. I'd like to thank Brian a lot for that, and welcome to the race. Will Barlow's back. Gil Gawk. We've got a bunch of these guys. Chad Sullivan come back to join us. Keenan Massey. We got a stacked field tonight. This ought to be a very good race. This qualifying's going on right now.
Current driver on pole, Brian Johnson, with an 18.302. Just 9 thousandths of a second. Check that, 11 thousandths of a second separate himself and Noah Bitts on the front row. So far, only about 11 drivers here have set times. Brooks Dirty, your pick to win tonight, Al, goes top of the boards by about 1/4 of a second. An 18.275. The only driver so far to poke his way into the 18.2s in qualifying thus far.
It looks like these drivers are finding it very hard to stay on the track. This is an extremely hot track tonight, Nolan, and these guys are coming off his turns, and they're getting a little hefty on that gas pedal, and that's getting that rear end loose. We're going to see a lot of that during the race, so let's watch for that. The guys that come off his turns and kind of slowly get in the gas are the ones that are going to be okay here. The guys that get on the gas out of these turns like they're getting on the on-ramp of a highway, they're going to be the ones losing control, and they're going to take some people out with them. Damage is not really going to be a huge thing here unless you tear apart your front end and it overheats. But I think these guys are going to be able to manage that tonight, and I don't think we're going to see an excessive amount of wrecks, but I do believe we're going to see some wrecks.
Chad Sullivan now sits top of the boards with an 18.237. So far, 18 cars have set times. The remaining 12 or so have elected to stay in pit road. Now, this is not an uncommon strategy, Al, when it comes to short track racing here. You get a lot of these guys that realize that guys up in front are probably going to be racing too hard for their own good early on. So they're content to just sit in the back and watch everybody pile up in front of them and pick up some free spots as time goes along. I remember in Friday Night League that I run with our good friend Robert Baggill down there on the course. He ended up doing that exact strategy, decided to qualify way at the back of the field on purpose, and he was actually running pretty close to the top 5 near the end of the race because of how many crashes people were having and how many issues people ended up having throughout the course of the race.
The problem with that theory, Nolan, is the top 10 positions are pretty safe. I know you would think that they're going to be the ones that are going to be racing really hard, but it's not going to be the fact. The top 10, they're not going to be the ones involved in a wreck. It's the ones behind the top 10 that you're going to see involved in this wreck. Because you got some of these guys, if you start on pit road here, you're going to go down a lap within 4 laps. This field is so large that already by the time the leader takes the green flag, by the time the last car comes across the start-finish line, the leader is already halfway down the backstretch. So you're already more than a track length down. You're going to go down a lap down. So you're going to want to try to push your way from that back all the way as close to the front as you can get, so you prevent yourself from going down a lap, and that's going to cause a wreck. I guarantee you, our first wreck is going to involve the cars that are not in the top 10.
Under 60 seconds remaining in qualifying time, still coming down. A couple of more drivers elected to put those times in. 24 drivers have now set times on the pole. Kenny Powell is out there at the moment. I've also seen Corey Cook putting himself into the top 10, going into 9th place with an 18.412. Cook not setting a practice time, but getting it done with an 18.412 to put himself into the top 10. 30 seconds in qualifying.
Well, you can't take anything away from Chad Sullivan with that 18.237. That is extremely fast. He's 4/10 faster than the 27 of Brooks Dirting. And then we've got Brian Johnson right now sitting in 3rd, Noah Bitts in 4th, and Chris Johnson sitting in 5th. So
DeWeese goes fastest.
DeWeese is an 18.193, a blistering. That is 4/10 faster than Chad Sullivan and 8/10 faster than Brooks Dirting. Braxton DeWeese laid it down. He left nothing on that track. So let's keep an eye on it. As the grid starts, we're going to have Braxton DeWeese on the pole. On the outside of him will be Chad Sullivan. The inside of second row will be Brooks Dirting. The outside of second row is Brian Johnson. The inside of third row is 87 and Noah Bitts. The outside is going to be Chris Johnson. Then we have Gil Gawk, Jacob Grant, Timothy Swiggett, Corey Cook, Josh Schaffner, Wayne Grassi, Keenan Massey, Travis Smith, and Matthew McKeegan running out the top 15.
16th place holds Brian Britt with Kenny Powell in 17th, Kyle Labrie in 18th, Roy Hyde in 19th with Jeff Weimer rounded out the top 20. Raczynski in 21st with Will Barlow 22nd, John Mullins 23rd, Zendla Collins 24th with Chuck Phillips at 25th, Austin Greer and Robert Patgale in 26th and 27th. The last drivers set times. Fraser Hoffman, Jason Baines, Paul Olsen, and Cecil Keith round out a 31 car field ready to go rolling here tonight. About to go green for the Cheerwine 200 from North Wilkesboro Speedway. Let's take a quick break here. We'll take a swing on over to the national anthem. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Drivers, start your engines!
The national anthem has been sung and the Grand Marshal has given the starting command. We're ready to go racing here from North Wilkesboro Speedway for the Cheerwine 200 to round out the first half on the third season here in 2021. So, starting grid's gone through as well. DeWeese on the pole with an 18.193. The only driver, by the way, out to break into the 18.1s so far today. That is almost a tenth or half a tenth quicker than his best practice time in 18.238, which is good enough for second place in the practice time. So it looks like your man down there, Brooks Dirty, he might have some competition up at the front of the field.
Oh, absolutely. That's qualifying times mean nothing. I mean, let's see how these guys race, because you can qualify really good, but race really crappy. So let's see what goes on here. He's got a big pair of shoes to fill right there, because starting in the front, you want to stay up there to avoid the wreck. So let's hope he can keep it under control. Let's watch, like I said, let's watch it top 10. I don't think there's going to be any wrecking going on there, but behind them is where our action is going to be.
Don't forget, by the way, to like and subscribe here on YouTube if you happen to enjoy what you're seeing here tonight. ISCA racing with you every Thursday night. As well as that, check out ButtKicker.com and use the promo code ISCA20 for 20% off on all ButtKicker products. Braxton DeWeese going to be your control car. We just wait now for the iRacing pace car to pull down the pit road. No EOL glitch to worry about today here, Al. It should be a very fun race out there tonight. Pace car pulls down the pit road. Braxton DeWeese crosses that white line. Green flag flies. We're underway. Here's some good old short track racing.
Yeah, this first turn right here is where everybody's going to get kind of loose here. But it looks like I said, the top 10 are keeping it under control. Let's watch the back of this field and see what goes on. We still got DeWeese on the inside. We got a dive bomb here from the 73. He's going to back it down a little bit. That's another thing we can see, Nolan, tonight is a lot of dive bombing. Dive bombing and pushing up into the outside line here. Let's watch for that.
Still side by side for the race lead up in front. And the outside line has already started the pull. Chad Sullivan trying to take away the lead from Braxton DeWeese. DeWeese holding the inside line, but just cannot get the power down on corner exit. Sullivan getting further and further ahead with each corner that he exits off. enters high, exits low, does not allow Weiss on the power. Chad Sullivan, new race leader, first lead change of the night already on just the third lap of a 200-lap race, showing just what a wild race this must be, and also showing how critical that outside line is when you're trying to defend a position.
Yeah, further back in the field, these guys are single lined here, but we got a couple battles. We got Kenny Powell inside the 70 machine here, trying to get a position away from him, and it looks like that inside line is not as strong as the outside here. They kind of backed it down, and it looks like Kenny Powell is not giving up. He wants that position, but that 70 machine on the outside line is getting squirrely.
Yeah, Brooks Dirty was saying he was getting a bit nervous there. Braxton DeWeese having a few moments there coming out of turn number 2 or 4. Caution's out already for the first time tonight. Did not take long at all. And I got a car on the inside line. That might be Clayton Hoffman. In fact, it is Clayton Hoffman in the 92 machine. And I tell you what, Al, it's unfortunate, but that caution came out because Hoffman was slow at the inside line. He was just trying to rejoin. But the problem with pit exit here is that you come out right in front of the racing line. I say that as well. There's actually another incident, which is what the cause will really be for. Keenan Massey's 47 machine had a spin off of turn number 4 on the front straightaway to tap the inside walls. That is the actual cause of the yellow flag.
Yeah, I seen that. I was about to tell you. I was looking for the 47 to be involved with Clayton Hoffman, but I couldn't find it. So, yeah, the 47, Keenan Massey got a little bit squirrely and out of control. And he is outside the top 10. These guys, they need to put their, I say this many times, your patient pants. Boy, put your patient pants on. If you don't like wearing pants, put your patient boxers on. I mean, we just got to get patient here.
Understandably, Massey pulls down the pit road. Clayton Hoffman, a late joint into this race. He's another Rising Star member. Points leader coming into the night. Starting this race 5 laps down, Al. So that is bad news for the 92 machine. Now, the good news is, just trying to pull up the Season 3 standings, Hoffman does have some room to work with. He's got 63.5 points, back to Noah Bitts, but he is going to lose a lot of places here, or he's going to lose a lot of points here in this race as well. You can guarantee that. Well,
the good thing for Clayton Hoffman is if he has a good setup underneath that car, there is going to be the stage racing. So after the first stage ends at lap 35, he can elect to stay out and get a wave around. That gets him 1 lap back. Okay. If he stays the only car a lap down and there's more cautions, he'll get the wave arounds. So 5 laps seems like a lot, but it's recoverable. He can recover from this and still end up, possibly winning this race. Who knows? I've seen stranger things happen.
We're 1 green this time by? Still not. We are still under caution here. We'll take a quick step away, give a shout out to ButtKicker, and we'll be back in just a few moments.
ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. Get yours today at thebuttkicker.com and be sure to use our 20% discount promo code ISCA20.
Pace car about to pull down to pit road. We are 1 green. Chad Sullivan, your new leader. Brian Johnson starting his outside. Bitts jumps the gun, gives a bit of a shot from that bumper there of Chad Sullivan. Green flag waves. Looks like Bitts checked it up just in time. Double file. Flying down through turn number 1. So far, nobody making any crazy moves just yet. It is a big jump, though, from that 21 machine. That's going to leave Bitts and Johnson to duke it out for 2nd place just behind him.
And I'm watching our pole setter, that 3 car. He kind of fell back. I don't know if he kind of used up his tires or during that first, what do we have, 7 laps there, or what happened here? But he's dropped back quite a distance here, and he's trying to work his way back through the field.
Likely came down under that latest caution. Oh, it's a big crash in turn two. Brian Britt has just had a big spin to the outside wall. The 15th machine is caught up in this one. Will Barlow is there. I'm seeing, looks like Austin Greer collected a big piece of this one, Al, and he destroyed Jeff Weimer's number 70 machine as well. No idea what happened there, though, for Brian Britt.
I tell you, these guys in that back of the field, they're kind of growing impatient. They know this is a stage that's coming up, and it's going to come up in the next 15 laps, and they're trying to get up there as far as they can to possibly get some stage points. And when you start in the back of this field, there's a lot of ways to go. We've already got, we got 4 cars that are more than a lap down. It looks like Jason Maines didn't grid this time, so Jason's not in the race with us today. But we have Austin Greer, Keenan Massey, and Clayton Hoffman are all at least a lap down, and we're only on lap 15.
You saw the replay just up there. Brian Britt just got loose on corner entry, overcorrected when he hit the apron. That pushed him way up the track. And it's not really an apron, is it, Al? It's more of a speed bump at the bottom of the racetrack that kicked the car in the air, and when he came down, that thing was not going to stop. He tried to keep it out of Weimer as best as he could, just had no chance. I want to get a look on board Robert Pattengill if we can, though, here. Request for our producer Rob down there in the booth, because he came sliding to a screeching halt right behind this incident, had nowhere to go. Somehow managed to keep his nose clean, though, so good job on the number 17 car to keep his nose clean in all that mess.
Yeah, this is right now looks like it's survival of the fittest here. Let's see how this works out for everybody. Nobody's going to pit. If we have one more caution before the stage, I don't know if anybody's going to be brazen enough to go ahead and pit.
This is on board with Pattengill here from his helmet camera. There's the wreck in front of him. Nowhere to go. Can't see. Just lock it down. And now you just got to wait for the track to clear in front of you. Oh, he nearly got rear-ended there by Will Barlow. And he has to back up, throw the thing in reverse.
Well, I've got chatter going on here. Everybody's asking somebody to look at their car. And I think LeBrie just asked if he's got a front clip. I mean, these guys have all got damage going on. And we are not even a 10th of the way through this race right now. This is, if they keep running like this, we're not going to have much of a field left.
The classic short track giddiness that tends to happen here, Al. I mean, you get a lot of these guys, they just push a bit too hard. I mean, at a track in North Wilkesboro, it can be relatively difficult to pass if the tires start to wear down. And with how short this first stage, it's only 35 laps. I mean, you got to make those moves quickly. You just don't really have an option. 1 degree.
No, and the track is so short, you've got to make the decision to make whatever move you're going to. You better make it quick before you know it. The next turn's coming right on top of you. And
exactly.
You lose focus. I mean, this is a very difficult track to drive here.
Absolutely, and that's why we're seeing these early incidents. People, they just need to get themselves collected here. You know, take a couple laps to set those moves up. Green flag is back in the air. Sullivan leads them away. Noah Bitts to the inside, trying to go for the crossover. Down to the turn 1. Decides not to go for it. Has another look at a 3, but no going for the 87 machine. Looks like he's going to be stuck behind Sullivan for the time being. Still double file, though. Out for positions inside the top 10, just behind.
Boy, these guys are really close, and they're bobbling all over each other here. This probably is going to cause another one here. We got the 61. Looks like he's coming to the inside here. Oh, Wayne Grossi loses it a little bit in that 7 machine and is able to steer his way back through it. And he just gets rear-ended by the 50. Greg Wachinski takes him out in the 5. There's another caution. We're 3 laps in to pass the last caution. This is amazingly crazy.
That time, Wayne Grossi got a bit sideways, got antsy trying to get out of the power. Weimer had nowhere to go, rear-ended. Then when he checked up, Greg Wachinski also had nowhere to go and rear-ended Weimer. That collected all 3 of those cars, and Kenny Powell this time, the driver lucky to make it out of that. Him and John Mullins' 64 machine. Oh my goodness. I mean, this is 3 cautions now, Al, in 20 laps. It's the attrition rate at that short track, it'll get you quick. I want to point out as well, by the way, Clayton Hoffman is now 6 laps down, and you'd think he'd be getting lucky dogs all the time, but he hasn't, because he got Brian Britt and Austin Greer, who are 3 laps down, and they take priority. Hoffman, at this moment, he is going to need 12 cautions to get back on the lead lap.
Well, this track is really hot. These guys should really know before they got on this track that it's going to be like this. But I told you, and I said it many times, the top 10, are in a good position right there. I mean, a hot seat. They don't really have to worry about anything because the guys in the back of the field are just eating their equipment up trying to get up front.
We'll take one more brief step away here as you just finished watching up that replay with Wayne Gracia of this latest caution. We'll be back in just a few moments here when we go green. Here to the Cheerwine 200 from North Wilkesboro Speedway. Apologies, some minor technical difficulties going on with our overlays. We will be getting that fixed for you ASAP. Sullivan leads the way. Noah Bitts right behind. This time cannot get clear. Brian Johnson holds the inside, but loses it off the turn number 2. So the top 3 single file out. Dirty and Braxton Deweese just in behind. Do battle it for 4th and 5th on the circuit.
Boy, if we could just do 10 more laps, I mean, we're getting ready to throw a caution here. In roughly about 6 laps, when we get to 35 laps, we'll have a stage. Now, Nolan, I think the pit road closes at lap 33. Is that correct? So the drivers cannot pit after lap 33?
Affirmative. Lap 33 is the last lap they can pit. As soon as those leaders cross over to 34, pit road is closed. We're on 29 at the moment, so this should be interesting. And once again, apologies for the overlay difficulties. We will be getting that solved for you as soon as possible.
Boy, Timothy Swiggett at 73 is trying to go on the inside of Kyle Labrie. He wants that position. We're watching Gil Gawk get a little bit squirrely in front of Labrie here. Let's watch that battle.
And Labrie and Gil Gawk do battling. Here comes the 13 of Roy Hyde trying to pull around the outside line. His number 13, Grove Machine, gets the run on the 85, but cannot quite get the speed that he needs to Gil for an overtake around the outside groove. Everybody up ahead of this battle has single filed out, by the way, as long as both drivers in behind. You can see right behind Kenny Powell with a major dive down the inside of the 73 car, Timothy Swiggett.
Yeah, you've got to watch those dive bombers. I mean, they're pretty crazy when it comes to just sticking their nose in there. And if they push up just a little bit, they'll catch your driver's rear and they'll spin you right around. So that's what we'll probably see a few times tonight as well.
Bit of a sideways moment there last time by for Swiggett as he tried to go down the inside of Hyde. Instead, he's going to find himself on the defensive from Kenny Powell, who's trying to pull around the outside line. John Mullins trying to throw his hat in the ring as well. Pit road is now closed, by the way.
Now, these guys are making that outside line look like it's working. And races I've been in this week really haven't been brave enough to hit that outside, because I know The drivers on the inside line, they like to push up. And if you're on that outside line and they push up, you're going to have a problem. You're going to meet by accident.
Coming to the green checker this next time by out of turn 4. Chad Sullivan wins stage 1 from North Wilkesboro.
And that's going to put Noah Bitts in second, Brian Johnson in third, Brooks Dirting in fourth, Braxton DeWeese in fifth, Chris Johnson in sixth, Corey Cook in seventh, Travis Smith in eighth, Matthew McKeekin in ninth. Running out the top 10 will be the 18 of Jacob Grant.
We will be back in just a few moments with more from North Wilkesboro Speedway. Stay right with us. We'll be back in a few moments. Under caution for the first time in stage number 1. It is going to be Josh Schaffner winning the race out of pit road that last time by Al. He takes the race lead.
Nolan, I think if you look again, Josh Schaffner did not pit.
Oh, look at that. Schaffner not pitting. Sullivan now going to be the first driver to pit. He's down in second place, though. So we'll see here. Does Schaffner come down pit road? He does not. Bold call here from the number 50 machine.
That would be a fairly smart move. He did pit last about 15 laps ago. So he's only got 15 laps on those tires when everybody else has got fresh tires. To say that's a bold move, I don't know. That might be a smart move. If you look at the rear end of Josh Schaffner, it looks like he's been involved in some altercations that he does not want to be involved in anymore. So he's figuring he's going to roll the dice to see how long he can stay up in that top 10 and get away from those guys in the back.
I believe we're 2 to green this time by. It looks as though Robert Patgill and Clayton Hoffman are both taking... Oh, never mind. Patgill is going to come down pit road, and he will lose a lap in the process. I thought at first he might stay out there to get the wave around to stay on the lead lap, but he decides to come out, bring it on in at the last possible second. So we are now 1 to green here.
Yeah, the smart move would have been for those guys that are a lap down. They're going to be in the back of the field anyways. They've only got another, 30, 35, 40 laps to go until the next stage. I would have stayed out. And you can put 60, 70 laps on these tires. I mean, if you're gentle with them.
I just found out why. Schaffner accidentally took tires on his last stop. That's why he didn't come in. He couldn't afford to use another set.
Absolutely. So here we go. Here's the restart. And he's going to go high, and he's going to stay out of everybody's way because he knows his tires are a little bit... Oh, no, he's going to get in the gas pedal. He is going to battle with Noah. Noah's on the inside. Schaffner's not going to give it away easily. He's going to make him earn it.
Wayne Grossi is getting reports of a black flag coming in for him. Apparently passing before start finish. No idea what the situation was there. I think he had to let drivers through and just couldn't because they went green too quickly for him. He had just come out of pit road and had people right behind him, and they were already taking the green flag. He had no chance to even serve that, but bad situation, but that's what he gets stuck with. Up in front, Schaffner and Johnson looking to tango. Braxton Louise right in behind this grouping as well, trying to throw one down the inside. Conda behind is going to send Travis Smith off the track.
Boy, 3-car checked up really good here for that 4 machine. Otherwise, he was going to spin him trying to get around that Josh Schaffner.
It's a rough race out there moment. One car gets really loose on the bottom. That's Jacob Grant, who was kind of tail bobbling all the way down the front straightaway. Had to lock up all 4 tires as well to keep it under control. Tight and loose socks as the back end of the number 18 and the front. I think he's taking that statement on his car a little bit too much to heart there, Al.
Well, let's watch and see what happens with Schaffner. He's already dropped to the 7th position, and we've got Chris Johnson battling for him on the inside. And behind Chris, it looks like that's the Corey Cook, the 61 machine's trying to get through this melee of cars here. Kyle Labrie is back here looking on. Everybody's trying to get around the 50 machine of Josh Schaffner, and Josh Schaffner is sticking hard to it. He's not giving anything away.
No, he is not. They're still racing tight to this midfield. McKeegan and Kyle Labrie are both looking to tango up front. Corey Cook is still struggling. Chris Johnson. Oh, look at him. Oh, Labrie.
Tags Labrie. Matthew McKeegan tags Labrie, spins him around, and catches a whole bunch of other drivers here. I had seen that a mile away. That's that typical pushing up.
I'm going to say about 6 cars got cut over there. Labrie got damaged. Jacob Grant was in it. John Mullins got into it. Roy Hyde was there. Matt McKeegan got damaged. So did Kenny Powell. Lot of drivers getting collected. I think Joe Gawk even got a piece of that one as well. I know another driver that just tagged him at the end was Keenan Massey. I mean, it's a big pile up down there on the front stretch. Take a look at those replays now.
Yeah, because I think there's some conversation between the drivers that they're thinking that Kyle Labrie came down on Matthew McKeegan. And from my view, I thought that maybe McKeegan kind of pushed up. Let's see here. Let's take a ride along with Barlow here.
So on board with the 15 car of Will Barlow. You'll see they're already wrecking all the way up in front. I mean, you don't know where you're supposed to go. You got this whole roadblock in front of you. Whoa! Way on the binders.
Right there, and hopes nobody rear ends him. Let's go ride along with Matthew McKeegan and see how that wreck transpired here. We're going to go inside of the 41 machine of Matthew McKeegan.
Just on board with Massey here on the 47 car. Taking a little look up. Wreck happens up in front, and he's one of those drivers that just he just couldn't turn. You saw that. He turned that wheel almost fully over to the left. He just couldn't move in time. He had the front wheels locked up. Couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know how to call that. I mean, that was just a racing incident, I guess. You know, we'll just ride with that. But that took out a couple, 2 or 3 drivers and put them down a lap. And here we are wrecking again. It was lap 48. So I think we're going to go green here in about another lap.
To the green at the moment. Is it 1 to green? No, it is not. We should be 2 to green this time by here. So we're now a quarter of the way in. We've had 4 cautions, 5 if you count that comp yellow for stage 1. Next competition caution is coming out in about 23 laps time at the end of lap 75. So it's been an interesting one, I think it's safe to say.
Nolan, I tell you what, man, I ran this track 3 times this week, and I've not had my butt kicker going crazy as it is during this race. I've rode in car with a couple of these drivers, and just my butt kicker is just going to work here. This thing is going to town. So any of you guys out there that run either a racing simulator or a flying simulator, you must get your hands on one of these butt kicker systems. And with ISCA's 20% off discount, these things, you cannot not afford to buy one. I mean, you will not regret your purchase. In my opinion, they're worth twice what I paid for mine. They're absolutely amazing. So go ahead and check them out on ButtKicker.com and make sure you use ISCA 20 to get you 20% off your cost. Here we go, Nolan. We're going green again. And good jump from Noah. He wants to get away from these guys bad.
Well, clear. Down into turn number 1. Oh, nearly making kind of behind for Sullivan and Brian Johnson. Down for 3. Johnson holds strong in the inside groove, but Chad Sullivan has been really good on that outside groove all day long with his restarts. He pulls ahead and gets clear in the run down to turn number 1. Oh, Johnson gets loose. Swings way up the track. That allows DeWeese through. It also allows Chris Johnson to poke through. Schaffner is now looking to maybe threaten this as well, just in behind. That was a close one, though. Nearly high caution number 6 on the day.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. I mean, these guys are getting really, impatient. We're only at lap 56. We have a lot of laps left, guys. A lot. I don't know if somebody needs to tell these guys.
Corey Cook hits the outside wall that last time by pushing too hard out of turn 2. Tell you what, Corey Cook is having a rough ride up there. He is not having an easy time trying to keep that car steady underneath them. There's still a massive hornet's nest from about 9th on back all the way to the midfield here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. This has certainly been one of the more intense races really we've seen all season long. I mean, we have looked, even last week in New Hampshire wasn't nearly this exciting as we've been seeing here. I mean, it's just types of battles everywhere. One car sliding out off turn 4 was Will Barlow. He manages to recover, though, down to the front straightaway.
Well, I'm keeping an eye on this 41 machine back here in this bundle of mess. We got the 64. He's getting a little loose. I expect to see another caution right around the Kenny Powell area back here. The 24 machine's at. These guys are really getting racy here. The 85. Let's see, we're gonna ride along with. Let's do a ride along.
That's McKeegan.
Is that McKeegan right there?
It is. That's Powell on his inside that just got past.
Yeah, let's watch McKeegan for a minute and see how he's looking out of his windshield here. He's going to get some more traffic coming up, and he just has to really check up. You know, that 64 machine does a heck of a checkup on his turns, and these guys are doing an amazing job on trying to watch it, keep himself off it. Kenny Powell almost takes and touches the rear of that 64 machine.
John Mullins does have damage, so might be losing a little bit of acceleration down these straightaways, which would explain why they're closing up so much on him here at the moment. Here's the helmet cam from McKeegan, seeing all the mess out in front. And if a wreck happens up in front, there's almost nowhere he can go. Oh, he gets tagged from behind. Looks like Gil Gox got into the 41, but he held on to that one nicely there. Saw a little wriggle on the wheel, but other than that, he kept that thing nice and pointed. That's what you wanted to do. Nice and composed, especially when you get hit off the backside like that.
Yeah, you're okay if you get hit when your wheels are turning straight. If you get hit in them turns, you're going around. These guys, you hear a lot of the throttle control here. They're braking early before they enter this turn, and then they're kind of trail braking. They're lightly pushing the brake in the turn, and when they come off the turn, they release the brake, and they're slowly into the gas, and they start the whole pattern all over again, turn after turn after turn. If they get too hard on those brakes or push the brakes later than they normally should before they enter that turn, that's where you'll see the dive bomb coming in. Like the 41 machine, he's trying to get to the inside of the 64 here. And he's doing that. He's just not hitting the brakes as soon as the 64 is. Oh, the 64 is blow up. He blew up. 64 is off.
Oh, no.
That's going to bring out a caution if he cannot make it back around. He's trying his best. Yeah, he is dumping. He's dumping fuel everywhere. That's going to have to be a caution. He's no way in the world going to be able to get down in that traffic and get on pit road. These guys are just plowing right by him here.
Well, that was the last car right there, so he will be able to get down to pit road here. I don't think this will be a yellow, but that will effectively end John Mullins' day. He does get down to pit road, so we will not be having a caution, but a tough break there for John Mullins. Just blew up, and I can tell you right now, Al, that was a couple of factors there. For one, it was the hot temperatures out there, 102 degrees still on course. For another thing, it had to do with the fact that he was running for so long with an engine blown up. You run such high RPMs at this facility, you know, when you're at the top end of the straightaways for so long, it was an inevitability. You get a lot of front end damage, you're going to be gone in about 30 or 40 laps if you can't get it fixed.
Well, Nolan, I hate to correct you, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. The track temp is 102. The air temp is 75. So for him to blow up, he must have had a lot of tape on there. He might have not took his tape off of his qualifying setup and was running like a 75 or 80% tape on there for the downforce on the front. That's probably what blew him up.
Still battling up in front, Gil Gok and Matthew McKeegan are looking to do battle at the moment. They've got a lap car of Clayton Hoffman down 6 from them just in the way. That's kind of hurting their momentum here. It's kind of allowing a bit of a run here to Matthew McKeegan to try to fend off Gil Goff from the inside around that outside groove. I'll tell you what, Gil Goff's been doing one heck of a job here tonight, Al. He has been, really putting in the work tonight. He's been trying to work as hard as he possibly can to make that car up to as good as it's been. And it's usually a car we see, further towards the midfield to the back of the field. He's been in like the top half of the field all day long, though, qualified in the top 10 as well. Gilgog has the potential for a top 10 finish here today.
And I'm watching the 50 machine here. Remember, he started on the pole, didn't pit before, and he's worked himself back to 12th. But as long as he can stay in that area, we're going to have caution here in a bit, and that kind of worked out for him. That got him out of the back of the field where a lot of that mayhem was happening.
Pit road will be closing this next time by. Leaders are coming through turn 1 on lap 73. Pit road closes at the end of 73, going to 74. Stage ends just 2 laps later from that.
Well, I think this last stage is a lot longer. We're going to have some green flag pit stops, hopefully. We should probably see a little bit cleaner racing. We've got Austin Greer, who's took it to the garage, and John Mullins has also took it to the garage. And we're going to leave 23 cars on the lead lap. And the last car on the lead lap will be the 33S3-6 O'Keefe.
White flag is out. Noah Bitts, your race leader, trying to fend off Chad Sullivan just behind. DeWeese trying to make a position as well, trying to throw one around the outside of Chad Sullivan. He's got 1 corner to get this done here. Could Braxton DeWeese go for second place of the stage? He will not get there. Out of turn 4. Noah Bitts, your winner in stage number 2.
Let's see if we may be able to get a hold of our stage 2 winner this time, Noah.
Stage 2 is complete. We'll stick with this field here for a few moments here while they complete their green flag pit stops. I'll let you kind of go on a little tirade here while I update some things out my end at the moment. Why don't you walk through what the pit strategy might be from here to the end?
If I'm a lap down, what I'm doing is I'm staying out, because the way this race has been going on, there's going to be another wreck. But if I'm Josh Schaffner, I'm definitely hitting pit road. If I'm on the lead lap, I'm probably hitting pit road. If I'm a lap down, I'm not hitting pit road. I'm going to wait it out, and I'm staying in the back because I'm in the back anyways. So we're going to watch everybody that's up there in the top 23. They're going to be coming down pit road. It looks like Wayne Grossi's going to stay out. He's like I said, he's 3 laps down, so maybe he's a wave around. But let's just see how this plays out for some of these guys. Let's see who stays out and who comes in. Looks like Brian Britt stayed out. Paul Olson, he's also stayed out. Greg Wachinski is going to stay out. Clayton Hoffman is 6 laps down. He's staying out. And those are the 4 cars that are still on the racetrack that are a lap or more down. So let's watch and see if Wayne Grossi, that 7 machine, comes down pit road this time by. I don't think he's going to do it. Now, he already got his lucky dog, so he cannot get a wave around. If I'm him, I'm coming down pit road. So let's see if Wayne Grossi comes down pit road at this time. And he does.
Pit stops are complete, as is stage number 2. Coming up now with what will hopefully be our final restart on the day. We'll take a quick step away here. Be right back with more from the ISCA Stock Car Association Cheerwine 200 for North Wilkesboro Speedway. Coming back to what will hopefully be the end of the second stage caution on the night. An exciting stage 2, I'd say a cleaner one than stage 1, but definitely a more exciting one as well there, Alex, because we have more green flag laps to go racing it.
Yeah, this is where we got a delay green. The lineup is not correct, so they're going to delay green. So we're going to have one more lap.
It's not bad. It's Wayne Grossi. It was too slow on the bottom, had to let drivers through, so he threw it for that. I thought there was a crash on track.
Oh, jeez. Okay, let's get them all back together and let's throw a green here. Now, if these guys stay off of each other, we're going to have roughly about 120 laps left of this, Nolan. They're going to have to pit. If I'm pitting, I'm going to cut that either. I might be brave and cut it in half and do a 60-60 split. But the smart money move is to probably do a 50-50-20. It means I'm going to come in on pit road and lap 50, fill up, come back in after 50 more laps when we get to about 20 to go, like about lap 180, and then finish this thing up with 20 laps. My last 20 laps, I'm going to short pit. I'm going to get not as much fuel, and I might be brave enough to take right sides only and see how that works for me.
Green flag waves. Noah Bitts, your stage 2 winner, off and away. Sullivan, not so much. Still has DeWeese fighting hard on his inside line. Sullivan pushes wide, so DeWeese clears on the inside line for the second position. It looked as though Sullivan thought about following him into turn 3, but decided to just back out and stay in line for the time being.
But we've got some battling still going on towards the back of this field. We got those lap down cars. Our leader, our championship leader right now, Clayton Hoffman, is struggling back here. But I think he's gonna kind of let these guys all get by and hope and pray that they stay off of him. That's what my game plan thought here is for Clayton. I don't think he stands a chance of losing his lead that he's gotten in the championship right now. Do you see that?
Oh, no, he absolutely does not. He's 63.5 points clear of the next closest driver of Noah Bitts. So he can afford to even not turn up for this race, but the gap is going to be shrinking significantly. 3 wide at the back, as well as Barlow, Chinsky, and Grant decided to go 3 abreast. They got still sorted out, though, running down to the turn number 1.
Yeah, let's watch. Let's get watching Wayne Grossi here. He's coming through this. In front of him is Jacob Grant, Will Barlow, and Cecil Keith. They were at one point 3 wide with Clayton Hoffman involved in this hot mess. So I think they got their stuff together here, and Wayne is breathing a little bit easier now, but he's coming to the inside of Will Barlow, and he passes fairly easy, and he's in the inside of Clayton Hoffman. His car's bouncing quite a bit. I don't know if you see all that bouncing going on in Wayne Grossi.
I'm certainly seeing it in the back there as well. 3 wide again, by the way. Kyle LeBrie dropping back to McKeegan and the 49 machine out there. Zen LaCause looking to do battle. Oh, LeBrie throws it back down the inside into turn number 3 and nearly wrecks all 3 of them. Collins got loose out of turn 4, manages to save him. McKeegan still looking to be strong, though, out through turn number 2. Finally gets the position done. Zenla Collins, though, in the 49 car, clearly looking racy as well. Oh, wrecking as well up in front. Roy Hyde is taking a slide in front straightaway. Caution flag waves. This is a shell spin from the number 13 machine. Just slammed the inside wall, though. Put us under yellow flags for yet another caution.
Well, Nolan, I couldn't help but think to myself, Kyle LeBrie is behind Matthew McKeegan. Now, Matthew McKeegan, there was a wreck involving Kyle LeBrie and Matthew McKeegan earlier on, but Kyle LeBrie didn't fare so well. And I thought, is there going to be a little bit of unintentional revenge going on here from Kyle LeBrie? But he seemed to have kept it under control and didn't have any retaliation in his blood that time.
Oh boy, the tempers do flare at a short track. North Wilkesboro is no exception. It's a lot of drivers at the moment that have some hurt feelings out there, I'll tell you that much. I believe Wayne Grossi gets the lucky dog this time around. Roy Hyde is a lap down, but he was also the cause of the caution, so he is not eligible for it. He was also on the lead lap when it came out. I believe he took a tow back to the pits, and in fact, that is the case. Wayne Grossi getting the lucky dog around the outside.
Well, we've got Brian Britt and Clayton Hoffman are on 40-plus lap tires. Why in the world have they not came in yet?
Maybe trying to conserve for the longer run, thinking that instead of splitting it up, they're going to use a lot more of their sets later on in the runs. And that way they can be a fresh rubber more often in the final quarter or so of the race. Of course, that would mean banking on having us have a couple more yellows that strategy can actually play out for.
Brian Britt is 3 laps down? Yep, he's 3 laps down. Clayton Hoffman is 5 laps down. I don't know the strategy here. I guess what I'm trying to, I'm kind of confused here. Meantime, right back at the front of this thing, we've got Noah Litz, Braxton Luis, Chad Sullivan, Brian Johnson, and Brooks Dirting, and Chris Johnson. They're all up there just minding their own business, racing, giving a little bit of courtesy to each other, and they're surviving this thing, keeping their cars clean.
That's what you got to do a bit front. I mean, you got to play nice with each other. You make friends out on the track, and well, you'll know who they are when you come towards the end of the race. Race others the way you want yourself to be raced. I mean, I know that situation well. I'm going to once again reference a story back in my life. There was this one guy, he kept pushing everybody around. Sooner or later, everybody started to push him around. It was like, you keep bumping everybody out of your way, they're going to do the exact same thing to you, and they get the chance. But you make those efforts to race hard but race clean, they'll give you the exact same type of respect. Lights out on the pace car, green flag this next time by.
And I see the pace car is going to dive into pit road here as it comes off this exit. And these guys better get all their aggression out, because next week we are at the iRacing Super Speedway. That is the largest track that we have on iRacing. And speeds and agility is going to be amazing at that track. I cannot wait till next week. I may even partake in that race and then broadcast from behind the wheel again. There we go, green flag.
Green flag is out, double file in turn number 1. The top 2 break away. Noah Bitts and Braxton Deweese looking to run 1-2. Sullivan and Brian Johnson duking it out for 3rd. Looks as though Deweese is trying to open up that outside line, though, trying to make that pass. Still nice and close to the back end of Noah Bitts. Say what? The one mistake for Bitts, and Deweese is going to definitely pounce and try to go for the race lead.
These guys are tight. There's less than 1/10 of a second between first all the way back to 18th. These guys are really tight right now. All it would take is one person in the middle of this field to wreck, and it would take out a good 10 cars.
And of course, that wreck, if it happens up in front, it could be an almighty wreck. Although, to be fair to some of the guys down there, there have been some crashes that could have ended a lot worse than they did. They've only ended up being 1-2 car incidents, but they easily could have elected the whole field. So you shout out to these guys. I mean, when problems do arise in their area, they certainly, for the most part, do a good job of trying to get around them.
Well, this isn't a dirty air track or you have to have all your fenders on to be fast. You really don't even have to have all your RPMs to be okay here, because you don't reach top RPMs at this track. I mean, you won't get to hit your rev limiter at all on your track that often. If you do, it might be once or twice. But per lap, maybe once. So this track can take a lot from you and still be able to perform.
Still too wide further back in the field. Kenny Powell and Josh Schaffner going side by side for 12th and 13th. Labrie with no front clip, trying to go around the outside line. Doesn't get the run that he needs, though. Pushed a bit too wide up, so he doesn't get any kind of speed on these two guys down in front. That even allows Jacob Grant to start to close the gap. But Labrie is going to continue to try to fight this one out. He is not going to stop here until he puts them 3 wide.
Yeah, I told you, you don't need to have your full body car. I mean, you could have missing parts and still be just as fast as the guys that are full body.
It's all about acceleration, and it's a lot more about driver skill when you get to these types of tracks. It's not so much about aerodynamics. It's not one of those cases where you get the smallest bit of damage, you're going to be screwed. I've seen people that have not only been running discount modifieds like Labrie's running right now, they've even gone out and led nearly half the race in the process of having a car that looks exactly like that. So that goes to show just how much abuse these cars can handle on a short track like this.
Yeah, they got some efficiency to them, that's for damn certain.
Oh, look out. Keenan Massey swings wide and loses it almost out of turn 4. He does manage to wrestle it back under control. I'll tell you what, the car's getting loose here, Al. Turn 4 has certainly been the trouble spot here. And it's a bit interesting, isn't it? Because you think it'd be turn 1, considering it's a downhill braking zone when the car is almost at its lightest.
Yeah, but you see, as they brake, they're braking early. I mean, they're braking way before the turn. Turn 3 and 4, typically these drivers, you know, speaking for myself, I can tell you I use less brake on 3 and 4 than I do on 1 and 2.
Things have calmed down for the moment. Finally, single file pretty much for the entire field, except for this one small scrap down for 21st and 20th place between Matthew McKeegan and Rob Pangale. Oh, they've been contacted. Pangale just got put into the wall by the 41 car as well.
Well, let's look back. I was just telling you about partial cars here. Oh, we got one on the, looks like the 70 is on the inside line. I'm looking at Greg Wachinski's car. He is riding around, and I can clearly see his fan on his engine and his breather. He's got no hood whatsoever. Greg Wachinski is riding around with a 0 hood. I think we've got, can we get a close-up maybe of Wachinski there? He's still running fairly strong with that 0 hood here. You see, if we look here, see if we can get a good picture of the no hood. You can barely see it there, but he's still riding around. I mean,
that's a
no
good
hood.
shot right there.
Yeah, and he's just, there he gives a pretty good shot. And he's staying strong. I mean, so you don't even need to have a hood here.
Oh, absolutely not. You just got to, you know, have the willpower to really stick into it and keep fighting your way through. That's all you really need at a track like this. Looks as though Keenan and Massey, well, Barlow have opened up a battle for 15 and 16. 15 car down the inside of the 47 in turns 3 and 4, but Massey still pulling the outside through, trying to maybe fend him off to work his way further up towards Kyle Labrie up in 14th. Looks as though Massey might be able to get this one secure here out of turn 4, I'm guessing.
I am just in awe that these guys are able to get that outside line to work so well for them. I mean, that outside line, it doesn't use up as much tires, but I didn't believe it had as much horsepower coming off the turn.
Checking in on your battle for the race lead at the moment. Noah Bitts is 87 Sheehan and Braxton DeWeese is number 3. Are looking even closer now, just about as close as they were on the restart here, Al. DeWeese might try to throw something here for Bitts here. Maybe try to go for that race lead here and get a couple of laps if he can set him up.
Well, I tell you, I've been infatuated with the number 5 machine of Greg Wachinski. And I just seen Greg Wachinski dive it in pretty rough inside the 49 machine. And I thought for a minute, caution, caution, caution. He is just giving it all he's got here, trying to get around him. And I think he's going to end up a problem. But your battle for the lead there is heating up pretty well. And I think that 3 machine, remember, he was pretty fast qualifying. I think he's going to try to get back up into the lead of this thing.
He's going to try. He's been trying the last couple of laps. The thing is, Bitts has just been covering him off. He has not been able to get a run that he really needs. I mean, at this point, Braxton DeWeese, I think, needs Noah Bitts to make a mistake because the defense has been very strong from that 87 VRS Chevrolet all night long. Right behind, you can also see actually Chad Sullivan trying to look down the inside, maybe make a move for third place. Caution flag flies. Car on the front straightaway. It's Matthew McKeegan's 41 Mobil 1 Ford Mustang. This is another self spin out right out of turn number 4. Just got it on power. This time, though, overcorrected. And once again, Patton with a close call.
Yeah, if you come off them turns, I mean, I've said it time and time again, you almost have to envision that there's an egg underneath your throttle, and you don't want to break that egg, so you got to slowly just touch that egg. And then when you get your car straight, that's when you put the power down. As you watch him, he does not do that. He comes off that turn and jumps right on the power. And that's what you get. That's the results right there.
Stay right on board here.
Yeah. See, no throttle, no throttle, no throttle. He's on the inside. And he's like, I'm getting right on the gas. And you see the RPMs jumping. And he just got loose. So he
as soon as he turned the wheel, sorry to cut you off, Al, but as soon as he turned that wheel more than 180 degrees to the right, it was over. He was not going to be wrestling that one back.
You'd have to almost completely get out of the gas, and he was committed at that point. But you can see his RPMs jumped up dramatically there. So that spin is something that if you wanted a caution, you wanted to force a caution, that's exactly how you do it. I think a lot of these guys will probably come down for tires because we've ran roughly about, what is that? About 30 laps we put on these tires. So it might be time for some freshies. But remember, they only have 5 sets. And this is, they've already used 3 of them up. So they got 2 sets left to go 80 laps. So they can split them and make it 40-40 and finish this race out. If they pit again on lap 160 and they take their last set right before the end of this race, they'll be fine.
Under 100 laps remaining here from North Wilkesboro Speedway. We'll take a quick step away. Once more, we'll be back with more ISCA Stock Car Association ButtKicker Cup Series in just a few moments.
ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. Get yours today at TheButtKicker.com and be sure to use our 20% discount promo code ISCA20.
Once again, if you happen to enjoy what you've been seeing here tonight, I'll tell you what, this has been one of the best races on the season so far. Might as well, like and subscribe to the ISCA official YouTube channel, live with you every Thursday night for the ISCA Stock Car Association ButtKicker Cup Series. And don't forget as well, use the promo code ISCA20 for 20% off on all ButtKicker products at thebutkicker.com. Pace car lights are out. 1 lap to green. Noah Bix, Braxton DeWeese. They were really tight right when that latest caution came out. We'll have to see if they can maintain to be just as close out through the line. These are, of course, 2 drivers now on fresh rubber. We'll have to see what they can do. Pace car pulls off. Green flag flies. Noah Bits off and away, clear of Braxton DeWeese, who is left in the dust to try to run him down. Already though, pulling the outside line, trying to go for the race lead. Braxton DeWeese, side by side, bobbles out, but DeWeese loses it. Out through turn number 2, slams the inside guardrail. No caution though, because he is over the racing surface from 0 to 0 for the number 3. And still running out there as well. 3 wide with Gil Gawk trapped in the middle. Powell down low. Jacob Krantz, number 18 car on the outside line. Spinning in the back. Josh Schaffner gets spun around. Oh, and a big hit as well for Jeff Weimer. Wayne Grossi also gets collected. Caution flag is out almost immediately. Didn't even make it 2 laps. Turn number 3. One of the wildest races I've seen so far. Oh, no. Braxton DeWeese, though, just lost it all by himself. We'll have to get a look at that one if we can here on the replay, as well as what brought out our caution flag. That is about the biggest set of unfortunate circumstances, though, we have seen yet on the season.
Yeah, I mean, you got those fresh tires. You got to take care of them, Nolan. You have to take care of them. And don't come right out the gate just pounding on the gas. Otherwise, this is what you get.
There you saw the shot from the 49 car to send Josh Schaffner around to bring out our latest caution. The incident with DeWeese happened right on the opening lap. Just spun it sideways, got power too much, slammed the inside guardrail, went all the way to the back of the field. That is so unfortunate. Turn 2 as well. He on the restart, he was trying to go for it. We got the replay up for you guys now here in just a moment. This is right after they took the green flag. They're on the restart lap. There you see DeWeese going around the outside line. Right there. Spins it up too much. Bobbles, loses the back and goes down, tags the inside wall. And there was no yellow for that because he was off the track. Oh, dear. Tough break for him, Al, though. I mean, 0 to 0. I think he's got the pace He can work his way up to at least a top 10 finish at the end of the night, but I think his shots for a win, they're pretty much gone.
Well, let's not count him out, Nolan, because we do know he caught that guardrail on the side. He can have damage on that car as long as he's got the speed still left in him, which he should have. He could be back up there contending for a win.
So that leaves Brian Johnson and your pick to win tonight, Chad Sullivan. I'll tell you what, Sullivan's had a good night himself, Al. He's been within the top 3 pretty much the entirety of the race so far. And throughout the top 3, top 5, lowest he's gone, I believe, is 5th place, excluding pit stops, obviously. Excuse me. Wow, that was a hiccup and a half.
Yeah, I need Brooks Dirting to stay right where he is and kind of watch for Noah Bitts and Brian Johnson and Chad Sullivan to make a mistake and capitalize on it. I need Brooks Dirting to win tonight to break my picking the loser every race. This guy's got to help me out here.
Doubled up already. Got ourselves 70 laps to go at the line. Noah Bitts, your control car on the restart. He's been launching early the last couple of restarts. Let's see if he'll do the same. Pace car pulls down. Sure enough, early launch from Bitts. Sees him well and truly clear by a couple of car lengths down into turn number 1. Now, will everybody be nice and calm or they try to go for it? Looks as though I see Kyle Labrie trying to make it 3 wide around the outside line of Gawk and Powell. He decides to back out of it, though. Wise move, considering we're only on the first lap of this restart.
No, and I'm watching a lot of these guys on this inside line. They're not holding that white line too well. They're getting glitchy. I mean, look at Chris Johnson, that 48 machine. It's like his front end, he just lost control. The grip was gone.
Racing side by side for P number 2, Chad Sullivan and Brian Johnson looking to do battle out there with the number 4 car holding the outside groove, but Sullivan does put himself up in a second place. Sullivan's now just got himself about half a second to run down Noah Bitts, but Brian Johnson's giving him a run for his money, trying to go for second place around that outside line.
Yeah, you got to be cautious of that little speed bump down there. Turn coming off of turn 2, coming out of turn 2. If you catch that, you will catch it wrong. You'll spin that thing around here. It's the entrance of turn 1. I'm sorry, not the exit. But there is like a curb on 3 and 4 here that some people like to hug, and if you catch that wrong too, you'll end up having a big problem.
Kenny Powell and Gil Gawker do battling for the final spot in the top 10, that precious 10th position. Powell's holding the inside line. I tell you what, Gil Gawker and Kenny Powell, they have been do battling, by the way, Al, the entirety of this race ever since we really dropped the green checker flag in stage 1. They have always been like side by side with each other. I mean, they do not know how to give each other a break out there. So one heck of a battle to watch. I like that they're so evenly matched, that they're racing so well together, especially since they have yet to make contact in this fight as well, which is impressive considering how much they've been side by side with throughout the course of the race.
Well, let's not call it too soon. I mean, you never know. It just takes a little bit for one of those cars to get squirrely.
Oh yes, we've seen that all too often today. It's brought up more than a few cautions twice, as a matter of fact. Whoa, Keenan Massey just behind, getting real loose. Sacrifice the spot up to Zendla Collins. And now goes up and tags the outside wall in turn 2. Loses the ultra spots with Matthew Keegan, Chuck Phillips, and Cecil Keith. Now looking to fight it out with Wayne Grossi for what I believe will be the 19th. Oh, check that. Wayne Grossi is a lap down, just trying to unlap himself here. So Grassi not in a fight at the moment with Keenan Massey, which is no doubt not doing Massey any favors as he's trying to run to the cars in front of him, but he's got a guy who's inside as a lap down trying to fight him out with it.
Yeah, this is definitely not a track where you can be courteous and let a driver by. You have to race lap after lap after lap. Even if you're a lap down, you still race lap after lap after lap.
Jimmy Swiggett, by the way, is in a battle with Jacob Grant for 9th and 8th. They're getting awfully close at the apex of these corners here, Al. Swiggett is just barely alongside Jacob Grant. Look at how much Grant is pinching in that 73 car, not letting him get on the power, trying to pull the outside line as best as he can. But Swiggett is holding strong down the inside of 3. This time Grant is not able to pinch him in as much, but gets such a much better run out of 4.
Yeah, this is not what Kenny Powell in that 24 machine wants to see in front of him. He's growing impatient. He's trying to find, who do I go with? Pick and choose, pick and choose. I'm going to go to the high side. No, I'm going to go to the low side. It just, you never know. You got to try to find out who's faster. And eventually, you're going to see 3 wide from here. Kenny Powell is going to get impatient. If they open up that window, he's going to take him 3 wide. And there, oh, I thought he was taking it that time.
He thought about it. He definitely thought about it. You saw him make that look. Jacob Grant still fighting strong. Here comes Kenny Powell trying to make it 3 wide. He's done waiting around. He's decided to go on the low side if he can get to him. Swiggett now is going to try to get back at Jacob Grant. They single file out. Braxton DeWeese has called out that he is pinning in. There's over text chat though, so we'll have to see if that was a misclick or if he is genuinely coming down to pit road with just over 50 laps remaining in this race. This might get interesting here throughout the course of the race. There's still double file all over the place throughout the run, and DeWeese has called it. He is hitting in. Braxton DeWeese is going to be putting himself more than a couple of laps down with this move. What's your take on it, Al?
Well, he's got nothing to lose. I mean, it would be a smart move if he was up in the top 10 to do something like that, but pitting back there, he's probably just figured, you know, it is what it is. My car's not handling well. You know, he might have got some damage he needs to get fixed.
The only side-by-side battle for position at the moment is for 20th and 19th place. That's between Josh Schaffner and Keenan Massey. And it looks as though Schaffner has just picked one up on the 47 machine, who drops even further down the order.
Yeah, it looks like Braxton DeWeese, he must have broke something in that car because he just took it to the garage.
Looks as though there are a couple of other battles out there at the moment. I see 16th and 17th are side by side. Roy Hyde is starting to work his way back up the field. He's just picked up 16th place over Cecil Keith. Caution flags out. Kyle Labrie has had problems and has tangled with Will Barlow up in turn number 2. Looks as though there might have been more caught as well with Gil Gawk to kick this one off on lap 151.
Boy, Kyle Labrie wants some mic time, and he is getting it tonight, boy.
Well, we're going to see this one here. I believe we just found the initiated incident, and Labrie is side-by-side with Gil Gawk, so watch this. Down the front straightaway. Does Labrie push wide? Oh, he does. Runs into the door, Gil Gawk. Gawk saves it. Kyle Labrie does not, and Will Barlow just runs into the side of him with nowhere to go on the inside line. Under 50 to go, though. I mean, we're in crunch time now in this race. That's the final quarter. These guys are going to be getting less and less patient now here, Al, and I have a feeling we are about to see a whole lot of fireworks kick off. There's a view from Barlow, and just, you know, what are you supposed to do in that situation?
He tried to slow it down. He just had nothing he could do. It's like,
oh yeah,
I'm going to hit you.
I mean, all you can do is just lock the brakes, but hope for the best. But I mean, these cars, let's say notorious for not having the best of brakes.
Well, it's not that they don't have the best of brakes, Nolan. They have adjusted the brakes so they can drag them in the corners. So there's not a lot of brake there. Even when you slam on the brake, it's still not 100% brake. So that's why they're not stopping as abruptly as they probably could.
Under caution yet again from North Wilkesboro Speedway. We will take another look through, and we'll be back in just a few moments.
ButtKicker. Feel what. Get yours today at TheButtKicker.com and be sure to use our 20% discount promo code ISCA20.
Welcome back to North Wilkesboro Speedway. Al and I, well, we were just having a bit of discussion on how many cautions we have had throughout the course of the race. I'm thinking now we got to be into the double digits by now, surely. And sure enough, this is our 8th caution on the night. I would assume that is not counting stage cautions, but tell you what, it's been an interesting one, that's for sure. Coming to green flag here will be, if I'm estimating this right, 44 laps left to go.
Well, the leaders, the first and second place out here, they're on 40 lap tires, so this ought to be really interesting. They're 3 wide already.
Oh boy.
Yeah, these guys have got them older tires.
Oh, no!
Oh, right in front of the field. Here we go. Take out half of. Oh, no. Come on, guys. Oh.
It's a parking lot. The big one at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Keenan Massey gets run over by Noah Bitts. Oh, dear. It's a shame as well because Massey knew he was on old tires. He took the outside line, Al. Guess what? Just so that would not happen. Oh,
they
my
started
gosh.
out with 42 lap older tires.
That's got to be like a dozen cars that have damage from that, surely.
That was the best right there. I knew that was going to happen. I didn't expect it was going to be this early.
On board from Bits, and there you have it. Just didn't know it was going to be so slow off the corner. Tried to slow it up, but I mean, it's not a lot you can do in that situation.
That's like, excuse me, coming through.
Wayne Grassi has yet another penalty for passing under yellow. This time, the pace car is the car needed fled through, and he failed to do so.
Well, the good news for Wayne is that's just going to put him just 2 laps down, and Paul Olsen in the 43 machine is 3 laps down. So as long as he doesn't fall any further than that, he'll be okay. So the biggest loser in that wreck, let's see who that might have been. You think Chad Sullivan got any damage from that?
Can't say. I'd honestly say, though, that Massey was probably the driver that unfortunately got the worst luck out of that one, being as he was the one that got spun out.
Yep, he's a lap down now. You go from being up in the front to a lap down. That's just bad. And I think our record at ISCA is roughly 11 cautions. Is that correct? So can we beat that record tonight? This is caution number 9. So we need to have 3 more cautions in the next 39 laps in order to beat this.
Well, we're getting there. Confusion for Wayne Grassi. I don't know what's going on here. It's telling him I need to go to the back. This is not good here.
Oh, there he goes.
Oh, boy.
I don't know what's going on here. Wayne Grossi is up front, and he is going to lead this thing. He's just going to jump it and try to get the heck away from him. That was weird. I think he got another black flag for passing. Yeah, he's going to have to pit and serve a penalty. You just got to stay away from some of these leaders because they are coming fast. And he's going to pit, so they can't go to that white line there. Oh, no! He caught somebody.
Oh, he saves it.
Oh.
Oh, in the world did Fitz save that and nobody hit him?
Entering pit road, exiting pit road. Two of the scariest situations can go on here. That was amazing. Wayne Grossi was trying to get down pit road. He catches the side of another car, and that guy, he just saved it. That's got to be the move of the race right there, to go completely sideways like that and be able to save it. That's amazing.
Unreal. I mean, what is this race starting to become? I mean, this is insane.
That's caution number 10, baby.
That it is. One more, and that's it. We'll be matching that record.
So Noah Bitts is still up in the battle of this thing, but he dropped back a little bit in the danger zone, in my opinion. Let's see if he can get himself back up there. My driver, my pick to win the race, at 27 of Brooks Dirting, he's kind of minding his own business, waiting for these guys. You go ahead and race the way you want to. When you wreck out, I'll be there at the end. All right, come on, Brooks. Let's get this win, baby.
I mean, what do we do at this point? I mean, there's so much that's been going on. There's so little time at the moment to cover everything. I'd say at this point, it's probably best to just kind of recap what the championship was looking coming on into this thing. This has just been, you can't even describe it. It's been an insane race so far, to be completely frank with you. I mean, this has just been completely nuts. But I mean, you got Quake Hoffman. Comes into this race, your championship leader by 63.5 points. Started the race 5 laps down. He's now only 4 down, but he's only got like another 30 laps or so to work his way out. Noah Bitts is in second place in the points. He's down at 8, so he can make a run on this thing. Matthew McKeegan is in third, but he's had a bit of a bad day so far today. Dan Chamoon is not even present, I don't think, so he's likely dropping out of 4th place. Kenny Powell is having a decent. Well, he was having a decent day at least. Can't tell, how he'll be feeling about that now. He is in the top 10, so I guess that's something to work off of. But I mean, I'll tell you what, it's been an interesting one. I think that's safe to say.
They keep racing like this, Kenny Powell's going to be in third before the end of this thing. You watch.
Lights are out. We go green this next time by.
I can't help but think, Nolan, some of these drivers sitting outside the top 10, you think they're just sitting around waiting patiently for mistakes to be made and they're just going to capitalize on them? I think that's what some of the strategy they have back here. I hope it doesn't bite them. A much cleaner restart there. We don't have a lot of lap traffic. We got some chatter. There's some guys pitting. They had to have a black flag cleared.
Oh, no, not again.
Yeah, Chris Johnson. This looks like the 97 got really squirrely right there. The 80, was that Noah? The 87. Noah
it was
got squirrely and took out the 48 of Chris Johnson.
It's exactly what happened there, Al. Noah just got loose coming into the corner. Front end clips Chris Johnson's rear. Sends Chris Johnson hard into the outside wall, and that effectively ends Chris Johnson's run. I think we have now matched the record for number of cautions in one race. We're about to beat that record here.
Yeah, Chris Johnson doesn't have a hood either. I mean, oh yeah, he just got a little loose. So that was nothing intentional. That's just a racing incident. He just got loose coming off that corner. That's a product of diving it in too hard. I mean, I don't know what Noah was doing there, but that's not common Noah bits. So that was just a racing incident. I think Chris Johnson might have a little bit something to say about that, but these guys are just going to keep their opinions to themselves and try to get this race done and move on to the Super Speedway next week.
Let's take another quick step away here, and we'll be back with lower and hopefully the last restart here for the Cheerwine 200 at North Wilkesboro.
ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. Get yours today at thebuttkicker.com and be sure to use our 20% discount promo code ISCA20.
Back live from North Wilkesboro Speedway here for the Cheerwine 200. Still under caution. I believe this is the 11th one now on the night. About to reach that. Well, we are at that record here, Al, and about to cross over it into a new threshold. I mean, it's not often you get records like this being set in the ISCA. And unfortunately, record for most amount of caution thrown is a record you hope you don't have to hit or improve on. But I mean, every league will have their bad race from time to time, and this one has kind of gone downhill in a bit of a hurry.
I guarantee you we're going to break that tonight, and I guarantee you that if any of these drivers is running a ButtKicker system, that ButtKicker is going crazy because these guys are bumping and banging all over each other. So let's see how this thing unfolds. That ButtKicker system also will give you the ability, if you feel your rear breaking loose, it will give you a little vibration so you can react to it with your pedals. Your feet, you know, you can let off the gas or maybe tap a little brake. It lets you know when your back end is breaking loose or your front end is getting loose. It lets you know these things. So if these drivers have that, they should be using it. And it looks like they're not using it. They're just using the car in front of them.
Down in the turn one, back for green, but for how long is the real question. Side by side for third, the top two breakaway clean. Brooks Durney and Corey Cook looking to do battle. Durney throws one down the side of Corey Cook down in the turn number 3. Just barely pokes the nose there, makes it work. Cook gets loose though, nearly bounces back into the 27 car, but they're steady. We have made it that one lap under green. I think we're going to be slowly working our way up further and further towards the end of the race from here. If they can just settle this one out here for the first 5 laps or so here, Al, we should be clean and safe.
Yeah, there's Brooks. He's just slowly lurking there in that 27 machine. He's watching the battle with Brian Johnson and Chad Stolderman, and I think he likes what he sees because Brian Johnson is getting a great run, and before 5 or 6 more laps come by, I believe we're going to see a side-by-side battle with Chad Sullivan and Brian Johnson.
Looks like things are starting to calm down, thank goodness. Just as I say, that one car gets loose out of 4. That was Corey Cook that had a bit of a moment. Jacob Grant backs out from the inside line, but manages to get himself right up in position there. Look at Kenny Powell in the back. He's fighting at the moment for 7th and 8th, and he's trying to go around the outside line here of Timothy Swiggett, and he is going to take 7th place off of turn number 4. That 24 car is moving at the moment.
Yeah, he found a way to get that outside line to work, and now you just got to get around Jacob Grant, Corey Cook, and Noah Bitts, and he'll be up there steadily in the top 5. I talked to Kenny Powell earlier, and he has told me he's been in about 4 or 5 races already this week and never finished outside the top 5. Oh, here comes a 73, Tim Swiggett. He's going to go to the inside of Kenny Powell, and if he checks up, oh, Kenny Powell is checking up. He's going to let him by.
Powell gives him room.
Yeah, he gives him some room, but he's not gonna lay down and give it to him. He's gonna battle for it. That outside line to beat just isn't. Oh, Kenny Powell just barely misses that wall. Maybe he liking that inside line better. Yeah,
20 laps to go.
He wants that inside line. He's got to get 3 more positions in order to keep that, not finishing out of the top 5 this week event.
Gogok is under fire further to back of the pack for spots because of the top 10. CSP and Roy Hyde are currently side by side with just behind him with Josh Schaffner in 13th trying to push up as well. Now it's worth noting that Gogok has got damage on the front end. And we saw what happened earlier in this race to John Mullensow when that happened. When he had front end damage, he ended up blowing up. So he's got to be very careful that he doesn't do the same thing with 15 to go.
Nolan, I'm not going to jinx this, but I have to say it. Brooks Dirting, my pick to win the race, is actually finished better than any driver that I've picked to win the race in the past year and a half. I mean, at 3rd position right now, and it looks like he might be battling for 2nd here before this race is over. That is a strong, strong feat here. And Brooks Dirting is, he may not win this race. It's not over yet. He may not win this race, but he certainly has done a hell of a performance for me tonight.
Paul Olsen has brought it down pit road in his number 43 machine, currently sitting in his pit box. Came in just a couple of moments ago. So I'm pretty sure he is just calling it a night from here. We've got like 12 laps to go coming to it. He's laps down. He's not really going to be able to do a whole lot from there. I mean, he doesn't even have anybody on this lap. So I don't blame him for wanting to, make that decision to come down pit road and finish off the race from there. Still got battles within the top 10 here. Schaffner and Cecil Keith are fighting it out. You got yourself Roy Hyde and Gil Gott that are trying to get nice and close with each other. But the battles are starting to space themselves out. We're coming to 10 to go in just 1 lap's time. So we are getting close and close to the end of this race. I think, Al, we might match the record for caution, but I don't think we're going to break it tonight.
Well, I'm watching Brian Johnson as he slowly starts creeping in on that gap that Chad Sullivan's got against him. Last time by it was 4/10, and this time it went back to 4/10. I thought he was closing in.
Kind of fluctuates, doesn't it, when you take a look at how the runs go throughout the course of the lap. I mean, last lap by, Brian Johnson was about a 10th faster or slower. The lap before that, he was a 10th faster. He can really fluctuate big time when you're in a race like this. 9 laps to go, though. Brian Johnson is still going to be very much able to run him down if he can really get the hammer down and try to find that golden line.
Yeah, he needs to not run the line that Chad Sullivan's running. He needs to be able to get a little bit more as he closes in just a little bit more there. He might be like 3/10 now, and he's 3/10 behind him, so he's just got to have some lap traffic help here to slow Chad Sullivan down, and he'll get up in there and race with him.
0.379 last time by the line, coming through 3 and 4. Under 10 laps to go. Steps the back end out. This time even closer. Now almost exactly 0.3 of a second. Brian Johnson's closing here. Now here's where we get into another move. Very popular short tracks out. The good old bump and run. You think Brian Johnson's the type of driver that would try to go for that on Sullivan to get a win?
I think Brian Johnson is human. Okay, anybody that gets in that position, you don't care who you are. I mean, you will intimidate somebody. You'll give him a bumper, maybe. Oh, but Brian keeps on clipping that wall. But to answer your question, to make a long story very short, absolutely he's going to give him the bumper. I mean, I would be shocked if he didn't.
Assuming he can get to him. The gap's just gone back up to 0.4 of a second, so he lost momentum that last time by with a couple of mistakes. The thing is, race leader Chad Sullivan has caught some lap traffic. Wojcinski goes up high, and that kind of compromises entry line for turn 3. So how does this affect the gap? Down to 0.3 again, close in pretty much a whole 10th of a second that last lap by. I don't know. This is still anybody's game. Coming to 3 to go this next time by here.
Yeah, I think he's ran out of time, but we're going to see if some of this lap traffic isn't so courteous and it does not give Chad Sullivan the room like they're going to do it here. He pulls up. Brian Johnson, he needs lap traffic. He needs it to cause a little diversion so he can make a move here. He just can't get any closer. He gets really close coming out of turn 3 and 4, but then Chad Sullivan puts a hammer down and just brings the gap back out to about 3/10.
Brian Johnson does not have to worry about anybody from behind as well. Brooks Durden sitting back at the 27 car is several tenths of a second back, almost full second from Brian Johnson. So he will have no trouble to worry about behind. Oh, but loses so much more time off of the final corner, up to half a second. White flag is in the air. Chad Sullivan's got to wrestle this car for another quarter mile, and he will be clean and green. Brian Johnson will have nothing for him through 3 and 4. Chad Sullivan up in the final corner. He wins the Cheerwine 200 from North Wilkesboro Speedway.
Great job of Brian Johnson coming in second. Brooks Durden coming third. Noah Bitts ended this race in fourth. Corey Cook in fifth. Timothy Swiggett in sixth. Kenny Powell, top 10 in seventh. Josh Schaffner in eighth. Matthew McKeegan in ninth. And rounding out the top 10 will be Jacob Grant.
11th place is going to hold Roy Hyde, with Cecil Keith making a good comeback from not practicing, not qualifying, finishing 12th position. Great run for Keith. Biggest mover so far on the day. Gil Gawk is going to be in 13th.
Sounds like you're getting pulled over there, Nolan. What's all them sirens?
Well, it happens to be our local emergency medical services driving past my house. Apologies for that one. Wilkesboro looking to be in 14th place with Kyle Lavery in 15th. Chuck Phillips in 16th with Keenan Massey 17th. Zedla Collins in his first ever start, the last car in the lead lap, in 18th place with Robert Padgill making a good finish himself. 27th up to 19th. That's plus 12 on the day for him, with Chris Johnson down in 20th.
And rounding out the rest of this field will be Travis Smith in 21st, Wayne Grossi 22nd, Clayton Hoffman 23rd, Greg Wachinski 24th, Paul Olson 25th, Braxton DeWeese 26th, Jeffrey Weimer 27th, Brian Britt 28th, John Mullins is 29th, and our last two of this event is going to be Austin Greer and Jason Maines rounding out the field. What a tremendous race. Stay tuned. We're going to make a quick break, and we'll be right back. We need to talk to some of our race winners here.
ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. Get yours today at thebuttkicker.com, and be sure to use our 20% discount promo code ISCA20.
Welcome back to the post-race show here from North Wilkesboro Speedway for the Cheerwine 200. What an insane race that we have seen tonight, and we've got a lot of people that are going to be wanting to come over and have a little talk with us. We're going to kick things off here, though, with your second-place podium finisher, Brian Johnson. Al, I'll let you stand by with our second-place finisher on the podium.
Brian Johnson, Al Kozlowski in the booth. You got a copy?
Copy.
Brian, I thought you had something there for Chad Sullivan. You would sneak up to him, and then he kind of pull off. It looks like his exit was just a little bit more aggressive than yours.
Yeah, clean air was king. Chad had a heck of a car. He could really get that drive off, but I could get to his bumper, but that dirty air, I couldn't get a drive off to even get to the bumper. I was hoping to get close enough to give him a little bump, but yeah, he was just too fast. I couldn't catch him.
Well, we had a conversation up here that Nolan asked me, do you think Brian Johnson will give Chad Sullivan the bumper if he makes it to him? And I said, well, hell yeah, he is. I mean, he's human. He's going to do it. So I'm glad you reaffirmed that for us, letting us know that you are human and you would have given the bumper if the chance was there.
Oh, definitely. I wouldn't hit him hard. I would just give him a little love tap, see what happens. So, but hope we put on a good show for you there, Al.
You absolutely did, Brian. I do appreciate that. Was the key to this race, was it staying up in the top 10? It looks like there was a lot of melee going on there towards outside the top 10, and you did not need to be in that. Was that something that you had in mind?
Yeah, qualifying up front was huge. Just staying out of the pack, because there was a lot of carnage back in the back, and cautions breed cautions. So, luckily we were able to miss a couple of them. Second place, I'll take it. I think we had a good run.
That's absolutely a great run, and we want to say that was a hell of a performance put on by you, brother. You got any sponsors you want to give a big shout out to real quick?
Yeah, first, congrats to Chad. Heck of a race. Shout out to Southern Spiral Pipe, ButtKicker. Thank you guys that put on the show. Al, Kenny, Nolan, Rob, you guys. This is one of the best leagues out there.
Well, I do appreciate the shout out, and congratulations on that second place podium.
Thanks, Al.
Let's see if we got my pick to win the race. Brooks Dirting, Al Kozlowski in the booth. You got a copy? I don't think we got Brooks. Let's see if we can get a hold of Chad Sullivan, our race winner. Chad Sullivan, Al Kozlowski in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Got a copy.
Mr. Chad's putting on the school. Sullivan, what do we do here tonight, brother?
Man, a lot of fun. Just
Look like consistency was your name tonight.
Yeah, I'm a more of a long run guy, or try to be anyway, especially at these short tracks. For some reason, I do really well at them, and mile and a halfs I struggle at on the long run. But the short run on these short tracks, I do really well. Just try to keep a certain pace and stick with that, and hopefully it put me there at the end.
What was your thought pattern? Did you think, we just had a conversation with the second place Brian Johnson, and he said if he could have got to you, he'd have gave you just a little bit of a nudge. Did you think that was going to happen?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I'm more of a short run guy or a long run guy. So on the short run, I'm driving that car a little harder than I normally do because I didn't want him to be able to get to my bumper, because I assumed that last lap or two, he'd have gave it to me because I'd gave it to him.
Yeah, that's only the human thing here. Everybody's asking. We had that conversation, and,
Yeah.
and I mean, that's just what you're going to do. I mean, I don't care who you are. You're going to give somebody the bumper, and that's just a racing deal. So congratulations, brother. That was one hell of a performance. He stayed up we asked Brian, staying up in the top 10, was that important to you tonight?
Oh, most definitely. Just like Brian said, and first of all, he's a hell of a driver. Drive with him a lot in some of the official races, and real clean and fast. So shout out to him. Feels happy to beat him. But yeah, that qualifying up front is just that's a big deal, especially in this group. Man, it's a one competitive league, and so qualifying out front and trying to stay out of trouble, I think that was the key tonight. Clean air, most definitely.
We never in a million years would have thought we'd seen 11 cautions in this race. That's we had a caution fest like that not too long ago, and we just matched it again tonight. But you seem to fare very well out of those 11 cautions and won yourself a race tonight. Congratulations. You got any sponsors you want to thank? Aunts and uncles, grandmas, grandpas, nieces, and nephews? It's your turn.
No sponsors, but I'm waiting to slap one on that car if anybody wants to take me under their wing. But just a shout out to you guys, you now, everybody that puts us on, and Kenny, man, it's a lot of time involved in all this, and I really appreciate it. And just happy to be here. And congrats to the two guys that to Brooks and Brian on a good run. And now I'm gonna go take a shower and drink a couple beers.
Well, you deserve it, Chad. I appreciate you coming in, and without you guys running this, we wouldn't have an opportunity to do what we do. So thank you very much, and congratulations on your win. We're racing our race is Super Speedway next week. What's your thoughts on that one?
Oh man, I'm not a big plate fan, and as a matter of fact, I've not even bought the track yet because of it being a virtual track, or however you want to put it. And so we'll have to purchase that and get on the track and see what we can do. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I hear the speeds they're high, and drafting's going to be a big deal, and I'm definitely going to need a teammate.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun track, and I can't wait to see you guys on it next week. I may even myself partake in that. So
Awesome.
we will see you next week, Chad. Congratulations on your win. Nolan, I don't think we can get a hold of our third place, my pick to win the race, Brooks Dirting, but we're going to go ahead and close this thing out and tell Brooks congratulations on your third place. I'm super proud that he got third. That is the highest anybody I've ever picked to win the race has finished. So congratulations, Brooks Dirting, on your third place position. You go ahead and close us out there, Nolan.
It's bound to be a very entertaining race for sure. Usually we refer to Martinsville as the world's fastest paperclip. Of course, with the introduction of the Iverson Super Speedway, that has been unseated. So we are now going to be taking a trip to the brand new world's fastest paperclip, the 3-mile-long Super Speedway, coming to you live from iRacing, for the iRacing Stock Car Association YouTube channel for the ISCA ButtKicker Cup Series. Round number 7 in just 1 week's time. I've been Nolan Rampo with Al Kozlowski in the booth with me and Rob Melnick down behind the cameras for today's race. So thank everybody for joining us for another beautiful presentation from North Wilkesboro Speedway. We'll see you all in 1 week's time.